to hold leads. They're gonna be around for the next decade, and they're gonna grow if they can keep that core together. But if you look at the Pistons, used to beat up on the Bulls until the Bulls finally beat the Pistons. And remember, the Pistons walked off the floor mad.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look back at history, every team had to overcome something.
Yeah.
So, and the Knicks went through it last year, right? When there were expectations, and they didn't make it, and ended up firing their coach and bringing in Mike Brown. So it's just that he is probably not much you don't know. And back then, I was getting interviewed for documentaries all over the place because I had proximity to just about everybody,
right?
And had a front row seat to seeing games for years. And so, if you want to do a story or a documentary on Moses Malone, or I produced a documentary on called Ernie and Bernie on Bernard King and Ernie Grunfeld, who were teammates at the Knicks and who played at Tennessee. So I had those kinds of access. Right. So I had done that interview. It was just another interview. Yeah. Some people, they rent a hotel room. I was here at the time, and they sent a car, wanted me to come there in Atlanta and just sit down for the interview. So that interview, it was maybe at least a year old, if not 2 years, almost forgotten I had done it. And just ask questions about Michael.
Right.
And so, of course, I didn't even know whether I'd made the cutting, made the cut.
Right.
I was joking with the producer as it was beginning to air. And I said, am I on the cutting room floor? Did I make it? He said, no, you made it. So I wasn't watching because I just didn't watch. And I remember one day I was sitting out on my deck at my apartment. My phone just started blowing up. I said, something must be wrong. Is it my kids? Or something? And all of a sudden I looked down and I was like, Last Dance is on. Because people were like, what just happened? What's your face doing all of a sudden showing up in Last Dance? So I was very blessed again. And I mentioned this to you before. God has put me in places and spaces that I could never have imagined, being a kid from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And that was just part of it. Turned the page on that and ended up in Birmingham, Alabama.
Speaking of Birmingham, uniquely enough, Michael Jordan has some history with Birmingham and playing baseball on the Barons. I've listened to a few interviews that you've done, and you brought a very really good perspective on one's relationship with the term failure, alongside what Michael Jordan was navigating during his time in Birmingham. And because typically, in the game of sports, it's very binary. Did you win? Did you lose? How many home runs did you hit? But unfortunately, and oftentimes, we don't see the person under the helmet, right? We don't see the person without the jersey. Can you shed light on what led Michael Jordan to get into the game of baseball as we are right here in the Magic City of Birmingham?
His dad was a fan. His dad loved baseball. And if you recall, at that time, his father had been murdered and kidnapped. It took many days for them to find him. And so this was suddenly not just Michael Jordan, but this was a young man going through grief. Ultimate grief, losing your parent, losing your father. And his spirit just led him to do something to honor his father. He'd already won 3 championships, I believe, at that stage. And none of that was as important. He needed to step away. I mean, he needed to get off that stage to grieve and figure out how to honor his dad. And so his dad loved baseball. And so his time in Birmingham, for those who are statistic-minded, may have been a failure, but for those who are spiritually minded, it was golden, right? This man made it to triple. Is it double A?
I believe so.
He made it to double A. He was okay. He got hits.
Right.
Stand up there against one of those pitchers.
I ain't got nothing on it.
Right. I mean, I played up until my freshman year of college, and I saw that first Division I curveball. I said, no, I'm out.
Yeah, that's right.
Right back to the classroom. So he excelled to the point where that was not his game. He didn't play baseball.